Well, good Sunday evening, everyone. So let me say this, my disclaimer. I have been trying to go live for the last hour to do this video, and I've had connection problems, so that's okay. So let me put some music on first, and let's get going. Happy Sunday to everyone. Um, I wanted to do a recipe. I think I told everyone I was going to do my smothered chicken, easy peasy, tasty recipe, and I'm going to do like a full dinner. So I'm going to cook um, my corn souffle, which is like a, a take on cornbread, and but it's using Jiffy. I'm also going to do some green beans with some potatoes, and I'm going to do my infamous smothered chicken. So let me get started by washing our hands. Let me wash my hands. You guys will hear me. My kitchen has wooden floors, and I have on heels, so you will hear me traipsing around my kitchen as I am going through and going from one side to the next. So let's, like I said, go ahead and let's do this. I'm gonna wash my hands. I hope everyone is still staying safe in the midst of this coronavirus worldwide health pandemic that we have going on. I don't know if you can hear my music or not. I love music. You know, when I'm in the kitchen or when I'm outside, that's kind of my getaway, just some peace of mind. If you try Jiffy cornbread, this is the way to do it. And this is the only time I use Jiffy cornbread, honestly. Now, when I'm making, dressing, I do not. But this is an easy peasy recipe. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to actually start with the corn souffle. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn my. You guys can see my copper chef. I'm a copper chef in my huge copper chef pan. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to turn the oven on to do. I'm going to do the corn souffle first because I like for my cornbread to have time to settle and cool off. So by the time I go ahead and get that going, put it in the oven, it only takes an hour. And by the time the chicken gets done, it's set for at least 45 minutes. So I do like for my cornbread to kind of sit. So I'm going to go over to my stove and I'm going to turn the stove top, the oven on. And I'm going to turn it on 350 degrees is what you want it on. Okay. And I'm putting it on conventional bake. So while it's doing that, my ingredients for the corn souffle. So for the corn souffle, it's just actually dump and mix. It really is. So you're going to have 1 can of golden cream style corn. Okay. So cream corn, 1 can of cream corn, 1 can of regular corn. Okay. And then you need 2 to 3 eggs. Now, my mom always did 3 eggs, but I only do 2 eggs. So I do 2 eggs, and then you need 1 regular box of Jiffy Corn Muffin Mix, and this is just a regular box, which is the 8.5 ounce. Then you need some vegetable oil. You're only going to use 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And then you need sugar, okay? So, and the same thing, it's 1-to-1 vegetable oil to sugar, so I do 1/2 cup of sugar as well. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to move these ingredients to the side. I'm going to bring out my mixing bowl. And one more thing, some people don't like Philadelphia cream cheese. So, I will tell you, when I first started making this recipe, I was not using the Philadelphia cream cheese because I was trying to do something quick. But this Philadelphia cream cheese, I knew there was something missing when I would cook it versus when my mom cooked it. The Philadelphia cream cheese really gives it that souffle kind of soft, cornbread. Oh my gosh, delish. So it is. So I will say that I am going to be using the Philadelphia cream cheese this time around. It's just one regular 8 ounce, the regular 8 ounce thing with Philadelphia cream cheese. I use this to strain my corn when I open my corn up, and then of course I have my my can opener. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to bring my bowl, my mixing bowl, and I'm going to just basically put everything into the bowl. Now when I don't know, I tend to be a person that likes to have as neat cleanup as possible. Yes, I'm a person that likes to have at least little cleanup as possible. Use to discard your trash in. And I'm going to use just a normal bowl, but you could use another bowl to put all your trash in. So now, what I have learned since I've been cooking and baking, even whether I'm cooking or baking cakes or any kind of desserts, I do not like to have, like, say for instance the Jiffy. I don't want this on the bottom. I want liquid on the bottom because as you're mixing, you really want to make sure like that you put this closer towards the top so that you can really make sure that you mix this in and you don't have lumps and things like that. So what I like to do is I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to measure out my sugar. Now I'm going to tell you something about the sugar. Okay. Another thing that the sugar does is sugar gives it some flavor. Okay. It gives it some flavor. What do I mean by that? So you only need a half a cup of sugar for this recipe. Okay. So I go ahead and I measure out my 1/2 cup, right? When I measure out my 1/2 cup, I'm going to add a little more to make it sweet. So don't go crazy on it, okay? No diabetes. But I'll show you what I mean. So I measured out my 1/2 cup and I put it over here on my aluminum foil. I'm going to go ahead and I want my liquid. So I'm going to go ahead and measure out my 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And I am one of those who I measure to the T. I know there's some people who say that they don't, but I'm just real conscious about diabetes, high blood pressure, and I will tell you more about that when I go to start seasoning. And even something you might want to do when you're seasoning just your regular, say for instance, food. I'll give you pointers on that. So I'm going to pour in my 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, okay? And I want this to go on the bottom because it's liquid, okay? So I'm going to pour that into my bowl. I'm going to go ahead and do my creamed corn. There's no order, but this is just me as I've been doing this recipe. Again, I want the stuff that's sort of like easy to mix, towards the bottom, and I want more of the stuff that's a little like, dry to be up top. And you think about it, cream corn, it's soggy. So I'm going to put that in there, okay? And you pour the whole thing. You don't drain the cream corn, okay? You get all of that. And then I am going to take my regular coin, okay? The regular coin. And I want to drain this. So you do want to drain the regular coin, okay? You do want to drain it. Now for me, as I'm opening this, I go ahead and I twist that top off. So then I'll take my infamous strainer, and I love this because this fits all several different sizes of cans. You see how this right here? So the way it looks is like this. It has several sizes, the small can, regular can, and the large can. So this first little small ring that fits right in there, and you just take it over to the sink and you just dump it out, and you don't lose any of your contents. So I'm going to dump this into the sink. My oven is still heating up. I'm going to turn my heat go off. Okay, so I have drained my regular corn. I'll put that there. And then what I'm going to do, I am going to go ahead And I'm going to add my cream cheese next. Okay. So I'm going to add the cream cheese, and you want the whole thing, right? So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to take this, and I'm going to just dump it into here. I'm going to need a little help. I thought I was going to be able to just come on out, but it's not working with me. Normally it does, but I didn't have it sitting up. So I'm going to get my spoon. I'm going to spoon this cream cheese out. And again, you want all of it. So you want all of this cream cheese. Scrape all this cream cheese goodness, right? Okay. And once I've done that, I'm going to add my box of Jiffy cornbread. Okay, so I'm going to add my box of Jiffy cornbread. I'm going to pour that in. All right, that's on there. And then I'm going to add my 2 eggs. Okay, so I'm going to crack open my eggs. Then I'm going to add my sugar in. Okay. So I'm going to add now that's the 1/2 cup of sugar. And then what I do, just to add, a little more sweetness to the cornbread, I will add some more sugar. Okay. I don't do like a whole lot, but I want to have like a sweetness in the cornbread. I usually take this scoop and I do about this much more. It's not a whole lot, but that gives it a little more sweet taste. Okay. And then people are really like, oh my gosh, I've never had sweet cornbread. And I'm like, okay, it's Jiffy. And they're like, oh my gosh, but the sugar doesn't. Okay, so that's all the ingredients. So now what you do is you just mix everything up. I mix everything on low for 1 minute, then I turn the mixer up to high for the last 2 minutes. Okay, my oven just went off, so my oven is ready, so that's good. We're right on par. Now, as you tune to my channel more, you will notice I'm a person, I like to clean up. Watch this. These disposable pans that I get from Sam's to cook my bread in. I cook it, and then of course, I use this as a serving. Okay. So let's go ahead, and I'm going to wipe this spoon off just a little more. Okay. So again, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to start off, I'm going to mix it on low for 1 minute, then I'm going to mix it on medium for and then it's ready to go into the oven. You don't have to oil the pan or anything. It's a non-greased pan, okay? It's a non-greased pan that you're going to put that in, okay? So now that I've done that, okay, so now I'm going to get my mixer. I'm going to get my mixer, and I'm going to mix. I'm not going to use my big mixer because this is just such a small pan. I had a good friend who got me a nice big electric mixer for my housewarming gift, which I really love. I do. I love it. So now I'm going to turn this on and I'm going to mix on low for 1 minute. Okay. So that's mixing on low for 1 minute. And I really make sure that I'm moving my mixer around. I'm also spreading the bottom to make sure that I get the stuff that's on the bottom as well as on the side to make sure it's in direction. Touch the bottom, touch the side, make sure that you're getting the sides and the okay. So that's a minute. Now I'm going to put my timer on 2 minutes and I'm going to mix it on medium for 2 minutes. Okay. So we're going to mix it on medium for 2 minutes. You don't want to overmix, so I do time because I really in 23 minutes is all you need. 3 minutes, okay? And this will be the cornbread or the corn souffle. It's what my mom calls. This is a recipe that she took from her mother, who took it from her mother, which is my great grandmother. And so my mother just basically took my grandmother's recipe and refined it where it's a lot easier. She added the jiffy. My great grandmother was actually using like cooking real cornbread, and then they would kind of do like you do with the dressing and add everything. They would chop the bread up and then add everything. But my mom was like, "This is easy to do. You know, that's healthy. You find workarounds, and that's what my mom did, and I love her for that, right?" So we have a few more seconds. Okay. And again, make sure you get the side, you get the bottom. And there you go. Okay? So that's 3 minutes. So then what I do is I'm going to just pour this. I'm going to take my mixer and I take it over by the sink because I just eject. Okay, I'm going to take this over by the sink. Okay, so then what I do is I take my pan that I told you guys about and I just pour this and look at this. Look at how, that looks. Okay? So you just pour it into your pan and I'm going to make sure that I scrape all of this goodness out of here. And again, this will be ready to be placed in the oven, 350 degrees for 1 hour to 60 minutes. Depending on your oven, you just want it to the top to start browning. You don't want to burn it, okay? You don't want to burn it. So you might want to set your oven depending on, your oven. Set it for 50 minutes, and this is what I normally do. I set it for 50 minutes, and I'll check it at 50 minutes. If I need to do 10 minutes, I'll be able to tell, and I'll just let it ride for 10 more minutes, or 5 minutes, or whatever, Okay, so that's done. And you want to make sure that you get the air bubbles out. So you do want to place it and tap it down, a couple of times to make sure you get the air bubbles out. So that's the reason you do that, to get the air bubbles out. And now you're ready to stick this goodness into the oven. Okay, I'm going to stick this over to I'm going to walk it over to the oven, and I'm going to turn my timer on for 50 minutes. Okay, so that's the corn souffle. Now I'm going to put my timer on for 50 minutes. Okay, so now I'm going to take this, if you will, and clean this up. I'm going to put this over to the sink. I'm going to put the mixing blades, I'm going to inject it into here. Okay. I'm going to take my trash and I'm going to trash this. Okay, so now while that's doing, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the chicken. We're going to cook the chicken. I do my beans last. The green beans, I want them, even if I'm doing rice with this or whatever you're doing vegetable wise, you can do that last, because I like my vegetables when they come off, when they're done, when they get done cooking. So then I'm going to trash all of this stuff, all the trash. I'm going to put it in the trash. Okay. So now for the chicken. I am a dark chicken loving person, okay? Dark chicken, to me, dark meat is so much more tender. So I use dark meat. So either I'll do legs, all legs, or I'll do legs and thighs, or I'll do legs and chicken wings. So today I'm doing legs and chicken wings. For those of you that have been cooking with me when it comes to chicken, I do not like touching chicken. You guys know that about me, okay? What I'm going to do is, remember, I always take my chicken and I wash it in a glass bowl, okay? Glass, because, chicken, I'm always worried about, having some kind of bacteria in what I'm using. So I use a glass bowl, okay? So I'm going to actually pour the chicken in this glass bowl when I'm rinsing it off. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the sink and I'm going to rinse my chicken off. And again, I'm using legs and wings. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the sink. I'm going to wash the chicken off. I'm going to pour it into the bowl. Okay. And I'm going to wash my chicken off really, 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 really good, right? I'm washing it off really good, washing the chicken off really good. recipe, the chicken is gonna, you talk about fall off the bone, it is gonna be fall off the bone. The key to this recipe is two things, and I will share that with you. And a lot of you are gonna be surprised, but OMG, it makes a difference for me. And I've been doing this recipe for years. Now this is my mom. She took a recipe and she kind of basically added some seasoning and, made it her own, which, oh my God, it is delish. Okay, so I'm gonna let that chicken sit in this final rinse right here. I'm gonna let it sit. I'm gonna come over and I'm gonna talk to you guys. Okay, because I don't want my chicken to dry out. So I've done that. I've cleaned the chicken. Now I'm going to show you the ingredients and kind of talk to you about what I do. So remember, I told you there's two. Again, this is my mom's recipe that she kind of doctored up a little bit. She changed it up from my grandmother, which we love. It is delicious smothered chicken. Okay, so first of all, let's bring the ingredients, what you need. So now I've talked about two Cajun seasonings. If you looked at some of my other recipes that I've done, and one of them is McCormick's, and the other one is Tony Chachere's. Okay, the other one is this Ragin' Cajun Fixin'. This is more spicier as far as Cajun seasoning than the other two. I like my smothered chicken to have that bump to it. If you don't want it as quote unquote spicy, go ahead and use the Tony Chachere's because it's gonna have a little. It's not gonna be as intense. Okay, and the other one I have, of course, is the McCormick's. McCormick's is not. It doesn't really give that to me. The only difference with the Tony Chachere's, when you use this, when you get done fixing it that day, you're not gonna taste the Cajun seasoning. When you let it sit overnight and you warm it up the next day for lunch or dinner, then you taste the seasoning. But with the Ragin' Cajun, as soon as you eat it, oh my gosh, you taste it. Okay, so you have that. You have onion powder. You have garlic powder, and then you're going to add salt and pepper. Okay, salt and pepper. And then you also need a can of cream of chicken, and then a can of cream of mushroom. You're going to use these cans to pour water and milk. I usually pour my milk in the cream of mushroom, and I pour my water in the cream of chicken. Okay, and it's just 1-to-1. Okay, milk and water. Now, if you want your gravy to be thicker, you add less water. Okay, if you want your gravy to kind of be where you pour it over onto like your rice or your vegetables or your cornbread, you add the whole can. I normally do about 3/4 cup because keep in mind, chicken makes its own water when it's cooking. So it's going to give off some more water. So I normally do not do the full cup because then I don't really like my gravy to be just like runny. Unless I'm cooking for other people, then I know that they do. So then I'll kind of take that into consideration. Okay, so what I do is I get me a small container to put my seasoning in because you want all the seasoning mixed together. Okay, so you want all the seasoning mixed together and you use a 1-to-1 as far as your seasoning. So for the seasoning, you are going to use I'm looking for my measuring spoon. Yes, I do measure. You guys know me. I measure. Okay, so you want 2 teaspoons each of the seasoning. Okay, so 2 teaspoons each. So then what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll take my measuring, and this is 1 teaspoon. So again, that's 1 of the pepper. That's 2 teaspoons of pepper. I'm going to take my salt. Same thing. That's 1. That's 2. I'm going to do the same thing for my onion powder and garlic powder. Sorry, I hit the camera. Okay, so here's the garlic powder. And again, you want 2 teaspoons. There's 1. There's 2. And then I'm going to get my onion powder. Do the same thing, 2 teaspoons. That's 1. And that's 2. And most people, you have salt, pepper, onion powder, and garlic powder in your pantry. That's like staples that most people have in your pantry. Okay. And if you don't, I just turned you on to something. Okay. Okay. And then I'm going to do my Cajun seasoning. And same thing, you know, I want 2 teaspoons. That's 1. And that's 2. And I did just a little more. Okay, so that's 2. My hand got a little heavy there. Okay. So then what I do is I take a little spoon, okay, and I'm just going to mix that. I'm going to mix that around. Okay. So I'm going to mix all this seasoning up so they're all mixed in well, right? So you just stir that, mix that until that get all mixed up. Now, this amount here of the 2 teaspoons each is if I'm doing 8, 10, or 12 pieces of chicken. So anything over 12 pieces, you want to increase the amount of seasoning that you use. Okay. So again, if you're doing 8 pieces, 10 pieces, 12 pieces, this is delicious. And the less pieces, like when you use 8 pieces, it just means it's going to coat the chicken phenomenally, you know, because you have less chicken. When you have the 12 pieces of chicken, you just have to make sure that you spread it around. And I'll tell you what I do to make it easy. I put my chicken in 2 bags, 2 like, you know, paper bags, or you can take a, if you want, you can get you a storage bag and you can mix it in there. But I do the paper bag. Okay. So now what I'm going to do, this is all mixed up. I'm going to get some paper towel. Okay. The paper towel is what I use to put the chicken on when I put it in my glass bowl before the next step. And this is remember I told you guys there are 2 things that I do, well, there's a couple things that I do that makes this chicken so phenomenally good and makes it fall off the bone. Okay, I'm going to take my bowl, and again, I take a glass bowl. This is what I'm going to place the chicken on when I've seasoned it. And I use the 6 pieces because it keeps, when the chicken cooks in the microwave, you don't have that big of a mess to come back and clean up. Yes, I did say microwave because I put it in the microwave first. I'll tell you about that in a second. Hold your horses. So that's one of the things that I do. I pre-cook it in the microwave. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my bags, and I've used double bags. I'm going to put the chicken in my double bags, and I just have bags that I'm going to use, plastic bags. And I'm going to take my seasoning, and as I pour the chicken in here, I'm going to pour the chicken in here, and then I'm going to pour this into the bag as I can see and rotate the chicken, so that way I'm able to make sure I coat all the chicken. Does that make sense? So as you put the chicken in here first, you know, it's not seasoned, you just rinsed it. Then you pour the seasoning like here as you have the chicken, and you kind of move the chicken around. And then when you put all the seasoning in, basically you get the bag and you just, you know, move the chicken around with your hands to make sure it's all coated. So I'm going to go do that. I'm going over to the sink where my chicken is. Now, again, I like my chicken wet so that the seasoning can adhere to the chicken. So I'm going to run this in a little more water. To get my chicken wet. And I'm going to transfer the chicken over into the bag. Okay. And I just remove a few pieces at a time, but I'm going to put the seasoning on there with all the chicken in the bag. Okay. Trust me, you get good at this when you've done it a couple times, and you know. Okay, so that's the last piece of chicken. Okay, so now I'm going to turn this light on so that I can see. I'm going to put the chicken in the bag. I'll put it in the sink so that I can have a little more control as I'm putting my seasoning. And I'm just going to take the seasoning and I'm just going to coat the chicken. I'm moving the bag so that I get, you know, all of the chicken. I turn the chicken as I'm pouring the seasoning so that I coat all the pieces of chicken. And it doesn't matter because when you put it into the skillet that you're using to cook, all of that seasoning, some of the seasoning is going to come off the chicken. It's going to just cook with the marinade. And it's going to be delish. So you will not have any chicken that's devoid of seasoning, put it like that. Okay, so I've done that. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to bring the chicken over for you guys to see what it looks like now that I coated it. Okay. Okay. So I do have my gloves on because, like I said, I don't like touching chicken, raw chicken. Okay, so I take my chicken. Okay, you see how that's coated? See how all that goodness, that coating, the seasoning, and I just lay this in this bowl that I'm going to put into the microwave. Now, you're gonna, with these many pieces of chicken, you're going to have layers on top. But I try to put the bottom layer where it's like flat and not covering. I'm not on top of another piece of chicken, but it's okay. So I don't even know how many pieces I have. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I have 12 pieces. Okay, so I have six. I have 12 pieces total. Okay, again, I don't like a lot of mess, so I'm going to take this. Now what I'm going to do, I'm wasting a little something, guys, sorry. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, let me take this over to the sink, to the trash. It's not working with me. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this chicken that's now covered in seasoning. Okay, you see that? I'm going to put it in the microwave on high for 5 minutes. Okay? Yes, I'm going to put it on in the microwave on high. I'm going to take 2 pieces of, okay? So you take the 2 pieces and put it on top. And you just put it in the microwave. So we're going to cook this for 5 minutes on high. 5 minutes on high. Okay, so I'm doing that. Okay. Cornbread has 29 minutes. That's good because, like I said, I like for my cornbread to cool off before I eat it. So the chicken is now cooking at 5 minutes, right? Okay. What I've learned, it goes through one where it's 5 minutes on high power, and then you go 5 minutes at 90% power. I let the chicken sit for a few minutes. So I was actually I'll make my smotheredness sauce. So I've just learned that over time that it kind of allows the chicken, the seasoning to soak and be really stuck on the chicken, and you don't get as much leakage, if you will, from the chicken. So what I'm saying is the chicken does not leak as much. Okay, I've learned that. Okay, so I'm putting my seasoning up. Okay, so while that's cooking, I'm going to wash some dishes while that's doing that. The only thing I have left to do is to do my seasoning sauce. My gravy for the chicken. And again, that's going to be milk, water, cream of mushroom, and cream of chicken. Okay, so I'm going to go over to the sink, wash a couple of dishes. So I clean as I go. Yes, I've learned that that's the best way to do it because who wants to be washing dishes when you're trying to eat, you know? So I wash my dishes as I go. When I was younger, and when I say younger, when I first got out on my own, I did not do that. Let me repeat that. I marinate the chicken, but then I'll cook the chicken. I'll pre-cook the chicken in the microwave twice. 5 minutes on high power, 5 minutes on 90% power. And then when I put the chicken in there, I just leave it. Now I'll show you what I do just to kind of make sure that it's at. And when you come back and you just touch the chicken with your fork, just talk about just the tenderness. Ooh. And I have a lot of people that fall off the bone chicken, okay, and tasty at that. Okay, so tasty at that. Okay, so I'm still washing dishes. I don't think you guys can hear the music that's playing in the background. Mama. Because I can barely hear it myself. So. And I'm also going to do a salad. I like salad, so I can eat salad almost with every meal. So I am going to do a salad. And basically what I do, I'll show you the salad at the end. Okay, so that's the microwave telling me that the chicken has cooked 5 minutes on high power. Now I'm going to change it to 90% power and let it cook for another 5 minutes. You can turn your chicken at this point. So you would turn your chicken. Okay, it smells so good. Oh my gosh. To goodness, you guys can't just scratch the screen, right? And again, I'm going to use my large copper chef pot to put and cook like Dutch oven to cook the chicken in. And again, you just once you get bring the the quote unquote smotheredness that you put together to a boil. Then you put your chicken and you just leave it, let it roll. Okay, but I'll show you again what I do. So I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna get my so that I can roll my chicken. All right. So and another thing that I do is what I use when I am stirring. What I use when I'm stirring my chicken is I use like a wooden spoon. Um, they tell you how to use those as much as I can when I can. So even with the chicken, when I turn the chicken or whatever, when I put it into after I bring it to a boil and put the chicken in there, this is plastic. I use this just to roll the chicken around to make sure that I coat all of the chicken. And I turn the chicken down, skin side down. And I guess you can but I don't normally burn my chicken. So if you're scared of burning your chicken or whatever, and when you first do this, you may burn your chicken a little bit because you got to get to know what your oven and like I sit back and I just go do other things while the chicken is cooking, and then I'll set my timer for an hour because then I'll come and I'll do vegetable wise if I'm fixing, and then I'll slice the bread up as well into even pieces, even portions. So I'll come if I'm doing rice, if I'm doing green beans and potatoes. I go ahead and I cut my potatoes up when I get done, and when I cover this up, and take a can of regular green beans, okay, of regular green beans, and I will show you how to create magic with those canned green beans. What you do is you add your own flavor. That's your love. You take those canned quote unquote vegetables and you love them up with some seasoning. People would think you slaved in the kitchen cooking those, that you shook those or whatever, uh, and that you cooked fresh quote unquote vegetables. Take my advice, and I'll tell you as far as the seasoning what to use as well. Okay. So again, that is cooking and it's down to like a minute. So while that's doing that, um, I want to show you what the chicken look like when it comes out of the microwave that second time from being cooked over 5 minutes at 90%. Again, it looks like it's kind of like um, it's been sort of like pre-cooked. So you have it where it's a little brown. The seasoning is kind of stuck on the chicken, on the skin of the chicken. It looks delicious. I mean, now, you can't eat it because it's still raw, but you see the difference as opposed. Okay, 15 seconds. And 5 seconds. So I want to show you guys. Let me get because that glass at the microwave, it's hot. So this is what it looks like when it comes out of the oven. Look at that. This is what it looks like when it comes out of the microwave. So as you can see, look at that. And that's just come from being in the microwave. Okay. Now I let this sit over to the side, and I'm going to bring my smotheredness, goodness, to a boil. Okay. Um, okay, so I take 1 can of cream of chicken. So 1 can cream of chicken, and you just pour it in. One can cream of milk into. Normally though, I will come over here for both of them, and I will scrape out whatever little residual cream of mushroom and cream of chicken that's left. Okay. So then I take my milk and I pour in a whole thing of milk into this can. So 1 to 1, and pour that into here. But again, I add water to that. So I go in here and I scrape out whatever excess cream of chicken is left in here. Okay. Remember I told you I don't do a whole thing of water because chicken is going to give off water. It gives off water. So I pour about 3/4 full. I put the water up to 3/4. So I put it up, you can't see that, I put it up to 3/4, and then I just pour it in there, right? And then what you want to do, you want to just mix that up. You want to mix that up. I take my wooden spoon, and I just break up the cream of mushroom and the cream of chicken. Okay. About a minute for you to break it up. And then when you break it up, you put it on the stovetop and bring it to a boil. Okay? So to me, this is mixed up well. I scrape off any side. Okay, so see, it's kind of it's that quote unquote liquid sauce. So then you want to put the top on, and I turn it up on high. I put it on my middle eye, and I just let it come to a boil. Keep in mind, I have the chicken sitting to the side. That seasoning is sticking on there. It's going to allow that chicken also not to give off as much juices because it's set. And it's sort of like, with chicken, you just let it sit and it's kind of cooking, from that 5 minutes, the last 5 minutes that it was in. And again, okay, so the cornbread or the corn souffle has like 12 minutes left. So you see how by the time the chicken gets done, because I already have that corn souffle is going to be quote unquote cool. Okay, it's going to be cool. All right, so I'm letting that come to a boil. It's on high, and while that's doing that, I'm going to take my cream of cans of mushroom and chicken and take it to the trash. As again, I clean as I go. I'm going to also boil some eggs for my salad. I do like eggs in my salad as well. And I got some grape tomatoes that I'm going to include in my salad as well. It usually does not take long for, so it usually does not take long for this. I'm going to get ready. I'm going to take my stove top with these quote unquote burner, aluminum burner covers. I love them because I do a lot of cooking and I don't really like to be cleaning that much cleaning. These actually allow me to, I don't have as much stove top to cover unless it's like right under the boiler. Like if you have stuff that boils over, it goes right onto these aluminum. Oh my gosh, great. Love them. Love them. I used to find these at like dollar stores and things, and now I can only find them at Walmart. So kudos to Walmart. And when I go in there, because I know that's the only place I find them. Okay, here's the secret. I buy them out. Yes, I buy whatever on the hanging. I clear them out because I never know when I'm gonna need them, and I cook so much. So if you saw my like right up here, you guys think I'm kidding? I'm not. When I go, I kid you not. I buy what's on the shelf. So because I do a lot of cooking, and these are great. They're great. Well, let me. If you don't know what I'm, so they cover the eyes on your stove top, and I have 5 burners. So these they're great. I love them, and I just change them out. Once they get to the point where you can't really clean them or wipe them. I mean, it's easy peasy, and they're inexpensive. So invest in that, especially if you do a lot of cooking. And I do like my stove top to be looking all messed up because I do, like I said, I do a lot of cooking. If I didn't do a lot of cooking, it wouldn't matter, but I do. Okay, so it is actually coming to a boil, and down though as I'm doing this because it takes time for you to actually put every piece in there. And I'm gonna put it on medium. So I'm gonna take this. Okay, so it was boiling. If you can see, it was boiling. Okay, so I'm putting the chicken in here, and I'm gonna coat both sides. I'm gonna turn it on both sides to let that sauciness get into that. And I'm gonna do each piece of chicken like that. Okay, so 12 pieces of chicken I have, and again I'm rolling it around to coat. Look at that chicken. Okay, okay. So I'm putting each piece of chicken in here and coating it in this gravy mix, right? So that all of the smothered goodness get into all of the crevices of the chicken. Okay, I have 3 more pieces left. Wing and 1 leg left. All right, so again, I mean, look at the seasoning that has come off of this chicken, at least the loose pieces, but it's not as much. But still, that seasoning gets into the flavor of the sauce. And that's what I'm talking about. You have some, ooh, okay? So, again, I'm putting my last piece in here. So this is the last piece. It's been just a little difficult. Okay, but I'm gonna put it here. All right, so now that's all of the chicken. Now all of the chicken is actually in here now, and I'm just making on like medium, like kind of low medium, because you want it to boil. So then I'm gonna do is what I do. I set, and I don't know if you guys can see that, but see that? Oops, I don't want it to come out. Okay, so it came out a little bit, but anyway, you get the gist of it. So I'm going to cover this and let this, I'm going to set my time, or if it's where it should be. And if it is where it should be, then I will step back for an hour and a half and let this thing cook. So I'm going to set my timer for 5 minutes and see if it's rolling, if it's boiling too fast. The corn souffle only has 5 minutes left. 2.5 minutes left. Okay. And while that's doing that, I'm going to take what I took the chicken out of, and I'm going to take this to the trash. Okay. And this comes out, and I don't have as much to clean. Yeah, it's a little soggy, but look at that. It's not as much. I just put this in the washer. And again, whenever I'm using chicken, I always use glass. I always use glass. So when you're cooking chicken, use glass to cook your chicken or put your chicken in. Whether you're seasoning it, use glass. It's just because you can actually clean glass a lot better than you can, say, for instance, wood, any other quote unquote container, kind of container. So I'm going to wash these few little dishes that just came up while my 5 minutes, and the cornbread is going to be ready in about 10 minutes or so. The corn souffle will be ready in about 10 minutes. I'll let you see what that looks like when it comes out the oven as well. And we'll just let the chicken cook for an hour and 30 minutes, and then I will set my timer for an hour so that I can do my salad and do the greens. Doing and keeping my dishes up like this as I go, it drastically decreases the amount of dishes that I have to do while the food is cooking, or even when people are eating, because at that point I've already washed the dishes and we're able to sit and enjoy dinner, have conversation, you know. So that's the good thing about that. Um, I am going to get my I'm going to take my spoon holder and take that to put my utensils that I use for handling I'm using. So I have several of these. That's telling me to check the bread, the corn souffle at 50 minutes. And I'm going to just open the oven and see what that looks like. It smells so good. I'm going to turn it right on. It looks good. I'm going to let it cook for just 5 more minutes though. It looks really good. So I'm going to let I think that looks good. And like I said, I've kind of learned where to put this, so it's going to be pretty good where it is. And I'll just let the chicken roll and go and cook for an hour and a half. So it is now 8:30. So 9:30 till 10 o'clock, the chicken will be ready and done. So again, Okay, so that's telling me that I need to check the boiling of the chicken to see if where it is it's okay with me. And I'm going to just raise the lid off. So my alarm just went off telling me to check my chicken. So I want to see where the boil level is, where it is. Okay. And that's actually good where it is. So I just kind of move the chicken just a little bit. You know, if I see any chicken that's not covered, I want to go ahead and make sure that I cover as much as possible all of this chicken. Okay. Okay. So now I'm going to let that cook at an hour and 30 minutes. All right. That's going to cook an hour and 30 minutes. I have a alarm going off telling me that the cornbread, to check the cornbread. So I'm going to take the corn souffle. It looks good, so I'm going to go ahead and take it out and let you guys see it. So here is the corn souffle. Here is the corn souffle. Look at that corn souffle. Here is the corn souffle. Okay. So let me actually, it is, again, you can see the corn pieces. I use cream corn as well as regular corn, and I use Jiffy cornbread. But look at Jiffy corn muffin mix. And I'll let this sit and get cool. So I'll sit it over here to cool off. So while the chicken is cooking, this will cool. And by the time the hour and a half, it'll be cool enough where I can cut it. Don't cut it while it's hot. Do not cut this while it's hot. Let it cool off. Okay? So I let it cool off. Because if you do actually try to cut it before it's, or while it's still warm, it doesn't cut. Because you got that cream corn, you got the regular corn, and it's attaching to the knife or whatever you're using to cut it. So let it cool off, okay? Now, we're going to let this chicken cook for an hour and 30 minutes, and we'll come back at 10 o'clock, and I'll show you what the smothered chicken looks like, and I'll also have the salad fix, as well as the green beans with the mashed potatoes. Hi everyone. Here's where we are. It has been an hour and a half, and the chicken has cooked for an hour and a half. I said I was going to do a salad, but I decided not to because I really like green beans, but I love rice. So I decided to do rice. Now what I'm going to do is, and look at that. Oh my gosh. Oh, but I just kind of scrape the bottom just to make sure that nothing stuck. And as you can see, nothing has stuck. So, I mean, it's going through the bottom like nothing, right? So again, when you first do this, you may get some burning and you may get some stuff on the side. What it did to this, I don't know, I'm not going to be able to turn it. But look at what it did to this piece of chicken here. It pulled the skin back. Look at that. Just that skin came off. So, see right there? Talk about some tender chicken. This came off of this piece here. So it is ready. The chicken is ready. So I'm going to take it off and look at that. Just scrumptious. Look at those like wings over here. These legs just so tender to the touch. So I'm going to turn the meat off to the chicken. I'm going to let it kind of cool down, but I'm going to keep it covered. That way it stays hot. The green bean is cooking. So, and I'll talk to you. I didn't show you guys the green beans, but I'll tell you what I did with the green beans, okay? Very simple. I took a can of green beans, a large can of green beans, and you think about this. When you get a regular can of green beans, I'm a person that's very conscientious about high blood pressure, and I use the FDA, yes, recommended servings. So with pepper, it should be 1/8, and for salt, it's 1/4. That's for each regular quote-unquote serving of one regular can of canned food. So because I had a 27-ounce big can of the green beans, I'm doing 2. So instead of 1/8 pepper, I'm going to use 1/4 of the pepper because I actually measurements. You will never have people say your food is not seasoned. That's all it takes. It doesn't take a lot. And I'm all about me, my sisters, my brothers. Okay, high blood pressure, let's kick all of that. Okay, so the green beans are boiling, and then so what I did is I used salt and pepper, and I used, I'm going to show you the seasoning that I used. I used a little bit of Cajun, and I used so I'm going to go ahead and move them over. I've turned my eye off for the chicken, okay? And then you just bring it to a boil and let it boil for 3 minutes. 3 minutes, okay? 3 minutes. And that's canned, quote unquote. Okay, so I'm gonna now take my rice off and I'm gonna put it in a bowl. And then I'll be ready to serve. I'm gonna turn my timer off. Okay, one thing that I want to do while my rice, I've taken my rice off of the stove top. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this corn, slice it evenly. So I take it and I try to eye it and I use like a spatula and I'll make a little indent just to kind of see if it's going to be even. And that looks even to me. So I'm going to do 3 across. So I'm going to then make this all the way down. And again, remember, I let this warmed off so it's not sticking against the spatula. That's why I said let it warm off. See how that spatula is just cutting through that? Because you got that cream corn and the regular corn, it would stick to whatever you're using to cut, no matter what it is, okay? And then I'm going to then kind of eye it this way and make about 4 slices here, okay? So, and I come across, okay? So then I just kind of go back, make sure I make my cuts where I cut, or go back and slide through. And now my cornbread is evenly cut. So when people grab it to eat, it's already cut. Then I just go on the sides and lift it up off the pan. So again, when they come, it's ready for them to scoop up. Okay? And then I'll just go like this side just to make it easy when they come and get this piece of corn souffle. And that's it. So then I'll put this here. So I'll let them use this to grab them a piece of cornbread. Then I'm going to come over here. I'm going to put my rice in I'm going to put the rice in a serving bowl. And that's it. Then you can actually serve. Okay? You are good, ready to serve. So now I have put my rice in a serving bowl, and I haven't forked it yet, so I am going to fork it. I'm going to fork it just to kind of make the rice fluff up. So I'm going to fork my rice to fluff it. Okay. Even though it's going to be smothered, I still like to fluff my rice. I like fluffy rice. So there's the rice, all right? And then the green beans. The green beans are done. Okay. And then this is what the green beans look like. Okay, so now you're ready to serve. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and plate this, and then I'm going to sign off. So I have my plates. I actually put my chicken and rice on one plate, and then I'm going to put my green beans on another plate with my bread too. Okay, so looks like I moved the camera a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my serving for my chicken and my rice. And I do have a spoon for the rice. So for the rice, I'm going to spoon the rice down at the bottom. Then I'm going to take my chicken. Oh my gosh, look at this tender chicken. It is scrumptious. Delish. So again, I want you to do this as I get the chicken. Bring this chicken over here. Okay, so look at this chicken, the way it's falling off the bone. Delish. I'm going to just grab it. Look at how that is just, and I'm going to put it on top of my rice, and I'm going to get a leg and a wing. Look at that, how tender that meat is. Okay, tender. Look at that, just falling. And then, whoops, then I'm going to take this piece of, I lost the leg to that. I'm going to grab that leg. Okay. To that wing. Okay, so then I'm going to just put my gravy over this rice and talk about goodness. Look at all this seasoning that's in here. Scrumptious. Okay, and I like my cornbread with my rice and chicken. So I'm gonna get a piece of cornbread. Look at this cornbread. Serve this sauce over anything. Trust me, it is to die for. Okay, so then what I'm gonna get my green beans. So here's that smothered chicken. Here's that smothered chicken with the cornbread. And now I'm going to put my green beans on a plate. And there you have it. You have green beans with potatoes. Okay, so green beans with potatoes. And then the smothered chicken. Delish. So I'm going to go eat. Please snap by making comments and like, and also subscribe to my channel and send this video to someone that you know. Please subscribe. So we snapped and we chopped it up. We chopped it up with this wonderful, easy smothered chicken recipe, full dinner. And we also did a take on a corn souffle using Jiffy bread, and of course I used my quote-unquote Copper Chef. This is also Copper Chef, okay? I love my Copper Chef. Okay, please subscribe, and everyone, please enjoy your evening. To everyone, toodles and smooches, everyone, till I see you guys again.